Hi everyone, to the game summary of Dragon Quest I, the first console JRPG in the history of gaming. All shown footage is captured from the original Japanese NES version and the help of a translation patch running on the Radeon 5. If you are interested in how Dragon Quest, or as it was called in the West, Dragon Warrior, came to be, check out the link in the video description, or the one up here. As the nature of a summary suggests, this video contains all sorts of spoilers. So if you want to experience the game blind for yourself, please leave now. Everyone else, enjoy the ride. Most uncreatively, we name our main character according to what he is to become. Hero. The game starts with Hero being summoned before King Lorik, telling us that Hero is the descendant of Loto, a hero that transcended from the heavens, long ago, to seal away the monsters with the help of a light orb. Yet a new evil appeared, consuming this orb. The so-called Demon King, cause of all this turmoil, needs to be defeated and the orb retrieved from him. To achieve our quest, the king gifts the content of 2 chests to Hero, as a head start. One containing 120 gold, and the other a torch. As instructed by the king, we open the chests and speak to the people using the menu and the direction. Doing so, we learn of Princess Laura being missing. The king keeps being quiet about it, even though the great sorrow he feels. From the 2 door guards, we learn of a nearby town to get equipment from and rest at the inn for recovery, as well as how keys work in this realm. Apparently, there are one-use throwaway items. Moving downstairs, a few more closed doors are to be found. As this is the first game of its kind, the NPCs explain to us how leveling works, and that we will get attacked by monsters when we travel outside, and how to save using a return spell given to us by the king. Leaving the castle, we find the next town in direct sight, just a few steps afar, and across some water another castle. Since Hero is completely unarmed, we head towards the town, finding an item shop, armory and inn. A villager informs us that the other castle we saw outside was the one from the Demon Lord. Apparently it is a frightening sight to behold. Talking to the people, Hero gathers clues of a town selling more keys, and a town named Garai, or Garai, which is to be found on the west coast. And also that many have come before us who went on the same quest, but they all died on the attempt. At the armory, Hero decides to spend his gold on a club and some clothes, as his first equipment. Wearing the best we can afford so far, Hero is ready to fight his first slime, the most iconic enemy within the Dragon Quest series, gaining as reward 1 experience point and 1 gold. Exploring the closer surroundings of the castle and town, Hero runs into the ever-same 3 enemies. Fighting itself is rather simple. So far we make our choice between attacking or running off. The more tricky thing is to monitor Hero's HP and start the way home early enough to not die halfway back to the inn. Also, we need to be wary of enemies flinching and surprise attacking. which are thrown at random into the mixture. Our first expedition ends with Hero reaching his first level and returning to the inn to recover, for the price of 6 gold. There is a guardsman also staying at the inn. He pleads Hero to inform the king that his quest to find the kingdom's princess has failed, revealing that King Lorik has been sending out troops to retrieve his daughter back on his own, and not just rely on a hero that comes from far away. Making further steps out into the world, Hero has come to level 5 and learned 2 spells, one to heal his wounds and one to inflict damage on his enemies. Equipped with a new shield, he travels further to the north, passing by a cave in the middle of a very small desert, till he reaches another town. The town is named after its builder, Garai. It offers more expensive gear and hints on Princess Laura. Rumors have it that she was taken by some monsters to a cave in the east. On the way back, Hero enters the cave we just passed by before. It's pitch black inside, but thanks to the torch the king gave us, Hero can make out a way to the lower level and discovers a slab. On it is the writing of the legendary Loto. Loto addresses the finder of this slab as his blood and informs him that it takes 3 items to reach the island of the Demon Lord's castle. Those items were entrusted by him to 3 wise men and should be now under the guard of their descendants. We are leaving the known areas and crossing the first 2 bridges, past another, yet larger desert. A small settlement can be found in the middle of a giant forest. It's a place full of rumors about Rimulda in the south, where keys are supposed to be sold. Another legend speaks about a flute with strange powers. It's said to bring golems to sleep. Also, we need to learn that normal swords won't do when facing the Dragon King. Determined to prepare for harder monsters, Hero explores the area and finds by chance a way through a thick forest to a secret hideout far in the north. In there lives an old man guarding a treasure chest. He won't grant us access though, unless Hero finds a silver harp for him that can call monsters. Exploring the surrounding of the forest settlement, a tunnel can be entered after walking through a poisonous marshland. It's pitch black inside again, and this time enemies are lurking in every corner. Trying to make a way through it, Hero stumbles into a dragon. The beast's attacks are beyond Hero's might, and he tries to run. Yet there is no chance to escape, and eventually Hero falls victim to the nasty green lizard. A moment later we re-awake before King Lorik, who is deeply disappointed in Hero failing. Also, half of our money is lost. This sets the focus on first training on more bearable monsters, before heading out again to explore the unknown. Some hard work later, and now a bit better equipped. We make a trip to a cave that was visible from a former training spot, just a bit south of the king's castle. A tall group of mountains blocked the way to its entrance, so we had to take a long expedition along the west coast to come into its reach. This cave is more complex than the last two, and as usual, dark as can be. Hero is confronted with new enemies, but they remain controllable. On the cave's second level, we find a ring. According to the manual, this should help us in future fights. The way out proves to be more challenging than the way in, though. Almost all healing options were depleted before we finally were crawling back to the surface. Hero escapes the darkness just for a short while, before re-entering the tunnel of the Green Lizard. This time equipped with new gear and a new spell. The power to enlight the tunnel. A spell stronger than the rays of the torches we were limited to before. With its help, Hero manages to sneak out of the tunnel by taking the fastest way and avoiding the confrontation with the dragon. Now standing on the southern continent, Hero is greeted by skeletons and scorpions of incredible sturdiness. But even so, he forces his way forward till he reaches another town in the middle of a large lake. In here, we are warned again about the increasing dangers of traveling further south, and also about the sturdiness of the Dragon King's scales. The town provides us with a legend about the hero Loto. Stories tell of him creating a rainbow in order to step on the Dragon King's domain. There are some strange things going on in this town. A woman offering Hero Puff Puff for 50 gold. A guard telling us that the ring we just found is useless. A man called Chun standing in the middle of nowhere, while a girl waiting for that very Chun on the opposite side of town. And a man that seems to recognize Hero. All those mysteries aside, there's one thing we came here for. The keys we came for can be bought from an old man across the water-filled trench. They cost 53 gold each, and Hero stocks up on them as much as possible. Using this newly acclaimed tool, Hero gets access to more secrets and rumors. There's one surrounding the forest settlement, but before we are heading back there, we need to toughen Hero up. since he is struggling massively with the lion cats and mages in the area, which are even able to keep Hiro asleep for several turns while slowly depleting his health. With an experience, the way back becomes less life-threatening. Hiro steps another time into the little forest settlement, now with his eyes pinned to the ground, searching for the secret treasure he was told about. Eventually he finds it in the bushes, 4 steps south from the bathhouse. Hiro is advised to use the just found flute at Melsit, even though we don't know yet where or what Melsit is. Next on the backtracking tour is the King's Castle. With the help of the keys we get access to a whole new area within the walls. In here is a very suspicious looking floor that inflicts heavy damage upon stepping on it. Crossing it rewards us with a guard sharing his secret. Hiro is advised to push against the dark wall in order to find Garai's tomb. Garai, like the town of Garai? Also we meet a priest, praying for Hiro to be guided by the light, and a guard in search of the castle's basement. Howsoever a staff member could forget how to get there. A hint on where to look instead of just knowing that a basement has to exist somewhere would have been appreciated. Anyhow, somehow we managed to find it. Just outside, tightly following the castle's walls. Down here is another old man, the second out of 3. On his back a chest, just like with the other old man. But contrary to his northern colleague, he grants Hiro immediate access to the treasure, without any terms attached to it. Opening it, Hiro gets the Sunstone. Retrieving it strangely prompts the old man to feel confirmed in his belief of Hiro's identity. Following the hint of the castle guard, Hiro moves towards Garai in search of a tomb hidden behind a black wall. As a result of this search, he opens the closed door to the largest building in town. A whole lot of very unfriendly people are residing in here. And we waste one of our precious keys to open a room with 2 guards in it, getting nothing in return. The only nice person in this building is an old man that shares the legend of Lotus Armor being hidden somewhere with us. After speaking with everyone, Hiro starts to run against the black wall, till he hits into an opening, proving the rumor right. He steps through the dark and outside, following the way to a stair. Just before it stands a man, telling us of Garai's harp and the power it possesses. We were looking for a monster summoning harp to deliver to the old man in the northern hideout. With a fixed goal in mind, Hiro transcends into the darkness and enlights the corridors of the underground labyrinth with his magic. This dungeon is filled with vicious monsters. While being lured deeper and deeper into it, Hiro faces more and more of them, till he gets overwhelmed by a death knight and falls. He returns and falls again. To give Hiro a break and to restock on keys, we return to the eastern continent and travel to its most southern locations. The monsters are tough here too, but serve just well for training. Just a few steps before entering another hideout, Hero runs into a golden golem. Of course we try to use the flute we found in the bushes. But the golem could care no less. All spells are completely useless. Thankfully, brute force just works fine. Upon falling, the golem gives a nice boost to Hero's purse. With it out of the way, we are free to speak to the third old man that guards a chest. This one is the most unfriendly encounter ever. He spontaneously kicks Hero out of his basement, stating that Lotus Gion would carry a proof. Baffled, we stand in the middle of nowhere. After processing the recent events, Hero takes the chance and pushes his anger and frustration onto the monsters in this area, gaining some experience and reward. Since the old man gave us no direction or hints, Hero returns to Garai to continue his search for the mystical harp. This time, he manages to find a way towards a chest hidden deep within the dungeon. Opening it finally rewards Hero with the harp. Now able of using an escape spell, Hero shortcuts his way out of this horrible place. Having what was requested, the journey leads north to the first old man we encountered in his hideout. The man recognizes the item right away and shows relief after having waited so long for someone like our hero. Then he vanishes. The chest he guarded contains the rain staff, but is a dead end when it comes to hints on where to go next. So we head out to explore more of the unknown lands, stumbling into a large desert in the southwest. Another town is nested right within the sands, but stepping into it turns out to be a bad idea, because Hero is welcomed not by people, but instead by incredibly strong monsters. Just trying to evade the claws almost ended in Hero's death. With the help of the escape spell, he manages to rescue himself by teleporting back to the castle. This time, we come to explore the rest of the land, prepared with plenty of healing items and Hero warmed up to escape all sorts of new monsters, in search for another landmark. And we find one. A town enclosed by thick walls. This looks promising. Yet, when Hero tries to step into it, his way gets blocked by a huge red golem. Now the flute we have been carrying around all this time shows its powers. The golem falls to sleep. Not for long, though. Within the fight, Hero needs to be very careful. He needs to balance damage dealing and healing in between the sleeping phases of his enemy. And even though the hits of the golem are devastating, Hero manages to keep the upper hand in this fight and emerges victorious. Winning as a prize access to the largest city in game with lots of shops and an inn to rest at. Hiro gets to explore the town and stumbles into information surrounding the desert town Domdora, which was overrun by monsters. This must be the place we stumbled into last time. The people here tell about a man that used to live there. He was said to own the armor of the legendary Loto. Another interesting information involves the sword of Loto. Legends tell it was capable of bursting even through steel, making it strong enough to withstand the Dragon King's horrifying claws. But no one seems to know where the sword went. Behind closed doors, Hiro finds a key seller and a superior gear shop, with superior prices, requiring heavy grinding if we want to get hold of their items. In the south of the city lies a temple, reached via a central garden. Here we encounter another of these damaging floors. These in particular are life-threatening, forcing Hiro to make tiny steps, with constantly chanting his healing spell. Till he reaches a priest. Hiro gets his blessing and the task to seek something at the location 70 North and 40 West. A tool to help us in finding the location opens up to us after making square with a certain nasty lizard. By now Hiro has reached level 15. Yet he still hasn't learned a stronger healing spell. So we stocked up on herbs before we re-enter the tunnel where we encountered our first dragon. Seeking him out, Hiro gets to face him at the very same spot we first met. Claws and fire breath still cause heavy damage, too strong for Hiro's healing spells to recover from. Only the herbs buy him a turn each. Doing so, Hiro gets to finish the nasty beast off, revealing a chamber on his back, where Princess Laura was kept imprisoned. She's overjoyed to be saved and pleads Hiro to bring her home safe. Unexpectedly, Hiro takes the request a bit too literally and carries the princess all the way home. Back at the castle, the king welcomes his daughter home and shows gratitude for her rescue. Laura joins his side at the throne, but not before gifting Hiro with a token of her love. She had fallen head over heels for him, and is almost dying of joy when Hiro confesses his affection towards her as well. The token of Laura is the key to find the location the priest in the large city gave to us. Activating it allows Hiro to communicate with the princess, and she will give him the exact distance between herself and the one carrying her token, together with the information of how much more XP is needed to be gathered in order to gain another level. We have saved some money up to invest into a new sword, the flame one in the large city. With its help, Hiro first went out to investigate the monster-infested town in the desert, in search of the whereabouts of Loto's armor. A side effect for saving up for the sword, Hiro gained level 17, and with it, finally a stronger healing spell, empowering him to stand his ground against the archmages and dragons that roam around this deserted place. Since the rumors mentioned a single tree to be of significance in the search, we head towards one, getting in return another surprise attack. This time Hiro faces the Evil Knight, a unique encounter marking the spot we found special. The better healing spell saves the day and allows Hiro to prevail. With the monster out of the way, we find the most efficient armor in game, passed down from the legendary Loto. Wearing it grants Hiro protection from poison damage and heals him while walking. Wearing this, the marchlands south of the large city are all of a sudden a way more friendly place to visit. Following the guidance of Princess Laura, we make it to the location of 70 North and 40 West. Hiro gets to burrow in the muddy ground to find the mark that symbolizes the heritage to Loto. With it, we are able to prove a certain grumpy old man wrong. Just having the item on us results in a completely change of heart on his side. All of a sudden Hiro is greeted enthusiastic. The man pushes us to join the Sunstone and Rain Staff that we gathered from the other two Elder in their hideouts. Doing as commanded, Hiro forges the rainbow drop. Showing the result to the Old One, he pretends that he knew all along that Hiro is the Old One. Sure. We leave the hideout and put the rainbow drop to the test, at the location where the island of the Dragon Lord is closest to the mainland. Joining the drop with the rest of the waters results in a colorful reaction that ultimately creates a new bridge, granting Hiro access to the Evil's castle. Inside of here we find two chambers with passages to the underground dungeon, and an empty throne where the Dragon Lord should be. Surprised by the emptiness of the castle, we explore both passages into the dark. Before long, Hiro needs to realize that they both are nothing more than dead ends, with nothing worthwhile to find inside. Frustrated, he gives the empty throne a thorough examination, and by doing so notices an airstream coming from behind it. Following it, a secret passage reveals itself. Several layers in, new enemy types appear. Some stone golems and even more unpleasant key dragons. Another foe that can send Hiro asleep. Down here things get irritating, even with the light spell active, and orientation is quickly at loss. Have we been here, or does it only look similar? With the help of a piece of paper and a pen, things become clear, and we even manage to find the sword of the legendary Loto, completing Hero's set of gear to be perfectly prepared for his final encounter. Stepping even deeper into the dungeon, we reach an area that is lighted. An underground castle with another throne. The direct way to the one sitting upon it is blocked, so we need to circle around it, passing by and ignoring a treasure vault. There's nothing in it that would be of interest to us, just some gold, herbs and a cursed item. At this stage of the game, gold has no meaning to us anymore. We reach the throne, and Hero is kinda welcomed by the Dragon King, that introduces himself as King of all, claiming to have waited for Hero's arrival. Surprisingly, he isn't searching for a fight. Instead, he offers Hero to rule by his side and control half of his lands with him. If we were to accept this offer, he'd give us a password and then tell Hero that his quest would have ended, while evilly laughing at us. The game would lock itself on a red screen, suggesting the death of Hero by the Dragon Lord. Of course we refuse the offer, which leads us into a fight while Hero gets called foolish for not accepting the deal. The king is a rather unspectacular foe that falls within 3 turns of Hero's attacks. But that's not it. The music shifts, and the Dragon King shows his true form. Alone the change of size from the sprite makes him feel impressive. Back in the day, this change must have been even more effective. The next big surprise is the laughable damage output Hero performs on the foe. 10 to max 15 damage per slash, compared to the 30 damage we used to deal. The dragon commands even more of my respect. In the moment I recognize one of his attacks cuts Hero's HP by 50. This is, by far, the longest fight we face. After around 5 minutes, where normal foes took maybe 30 seconds, adding up constant scratches to the dragon's skin and barely hanging in there, thanks to the constant casting of our strongest healing spell. Hero strikes the final blow and beats the Dragon King. With this, he fulfills his quest by retrieving the light orb and holds it into the air to let the light return peace to the land. We get teleported out of the castle and decide to return to Remoda, encountering not a single beast on our way. Here, Hero gets praised from all the people in town, celebrating the new era of peace. Hero wanders through the land one last time. Wherever he goes, all monsters are gone, even in the caves and the deserted town laying in ruins at the desert. The only thing left to do is visiting the castle. Entering, Hiro gets greeted by the guards and ordered to go and see the king. The king is already waiting for us, with its guards lined up before him. He is overjoyed for Hiro having fulfilled the legends. Having done so, at last proves his heritage to Loto. The king wants to have Hiro at his side to rule the land together, but Hiro prefers to be his own lord. Having completed his quest, he wants to turn and head out for a new journey. Yet, Princess Laura hastes down the staircase, stopping him and pleading to take her along. Her offer gets accepted, of course, marking their start of a new journey and leaving us with the credits rolling. Thank you for accompanying Hiro and me on this journey. I hope you enjoyed the way it turned out. If you got the itch to play the game yourself, I would suggest the current Switch version. The graphics may remind on a mobile game, but it is way more accessible and offers improved text, way less grinding, and some sweet surprises. Anyway, the next video line is already in production. May take a while to be completed though. Maybe we will meet again there, on a journey through the next RPG of past days. Until then, have a nice day.